And we're live. Hey guys, welcome to tonight's live stream Monday evening model review. I've named it. This is a new format that I haven't done before. And I want to talk to you guys about some kits that I have in the stash that I haven't done a review yet of, and there aren't many reviews out there on the internet. So I decided I'll do some reviews of my own on my channel in a live session. That way I can interact with you guys if you guys want to see parts close up, or you want to talk about stuff that you see while I'm going through the kit. I think it's much better for us to interact, because that way you get to see what you want to see and I get to show what I want to show. So this is a much better two-way street. For those of you who are watching this not live, but coming on later to my channel, watching this, thank you guys for coming here, looking this up, wanting to find out something about new model kits that I have in the stash. This is a recent addition to my stash. I bought this a couple of weeks ago when me and my girlfriend visited her family. I picked this up in a store. I thought it's a nice kit. Her brother told me, buy this. I went, I'll buy this. So I bought this. This is the Dragon Expo from 2008 in Virginia Beach, Virginia. A Stück 3 from Dragon, early production, as commanded by German Hauptmann Bodo Sprantz. This Stück was in service beginning in 1943, late 1943. Sad thing is, this wasn't deployed until after the Battle of Kursk, which prevents me from building this in the Kursk GB, which will now start on the 1st of January. This is some news here. The start date for this group build has been pushed up, and it's now the 1st of January. Mike and Nige are looking forward to everyone joining. This is going to be fun. Good evening, Liam. Hello there. Hello, the other 5 viewers. Thanks for joining me on this new endeavor, going through some of the kits that I have recently added to my stash. Like I said, this is the Stück, not valid for the Kursk GB, but there's a lot of other subjects that are valid for the Kursk GB if you want to build something. Ask Mike, ask Nige, join us on Facebook. There's a group now running that you can join. And I think, like I said, I'm going to review this. You guys, if you have any kind of input, you want to see certain parts, certain areas of the kit, let me know. I'll show you guys more in detail. Let's open the box first and take a look here on the box, inside of the box. Oh, good morning, Ralph. Once again, the paint callouts, we have a decal sheet, we have photo etch in this kit. On the other side, we have some write-up about Bodo Sprantz and his Stück in English. I'll leave this here. This is the wrong way anyway, so you won't be able to read this. But if you want to, I can only recommend you stop the video at this point if you're not watching live. Otherwise, I'm not going to read all of this out, but this is some interesting information on this Stück, which I just should have read, and that way I could have prevented asking Mike for more details about this Stück. Alright, let's go into the box and let's start out with the instruction sheet, shall we? Yes, we shall. Alright, in typical Dragon fashion, we start out with the running gear assembly. Oh, that's cool. Hello and welcome to Arnhem, Holland. It's always interesting to see where the people that are watching my videos are from. I think an international audience is a nice thing. Actually, for those of you who are now joining me live, today I got news. I graduated university with a very, very good grade. I can pick up my diploma next week. I'm very elated and happy. So you guys are actually the first guys, other than a couple of family and friends, and that I actually told this to. So yeah, I am finally graduated. Woo! Anyways, Dragon instruction, as always, starts with the assembly of idler wheels, road wheels, and the sprocket, as well as the torsion bar suspension. There's nothing new or different than there would be with other Dragon kits. So if you have built a Dragon Panzer III kit or a Stück 3 kit, you have already seen this assembly. What I think is nice, though, is the fact that you have a full torsion bar suspension. So with a bit of, I'd say, manipulation, you can actually have a working suspension. You just need to cut off this little nudge that is sitting next to the hole where the torsion bar goes into. And then you have a movable suspension, which is always a nice touch. And of course, you shouldn't glue in the torsion bar if you want to move it. Next up, of course, we install the road wheels, install the back armor plate, as well as the front armor plate, as well as the exhaust system. You always want to be careful here. There's a piece of PE that's rather delicate, and you need to be careful that you line it up precisely with those nudges that are here in the back of the tank. Then we have the assembly of the fenders, and here's the thing. When I build this Stuk, I'm actually thinking of taking off some part of the fender. I'm not entirely sure though, because I have seen some nice photos of the Bodo Sprans Stuk that I really liked, where the fender of course was intact, but it looked rather nice, so maybe I'll try and build the tank as on the pictures. So I'm not entirely sure yet what I want to depict with this kit. And like I said on my Facebook channel, Facebook group, I'm still undecided, so I don't know what my next project's going to be, so I'll also leave it up to you guys. If you have any input, any interest, any ideas, and no, not dinosaurs, on what I'm going to build next, please hit me up. Like I said, we have tools and towing cables, nothing fancy there. Then we go on to assemble the commander's hatch and commander's cupola. We build, that's the spare track rack that goes in the back of the fighting compartment. And we have, of course, S-mine launchers, armor plating, loader's hatch, interior detailing with those radios. And here's something special that we get only on this specific Stuk. It comes with photo-etched clamps that go onto the front of the fighting compartment on those sloped areas here that hold spare track links. That's a nice touch of photo etch that is added to this specific Stuk. We go on assembling spare road wheels, the engine access hatches, the engine compartment deck, the no-tech light, That's true, Adam. They are very good. I love all Dragon kits. We have I think this is the gear the gear and shift system entry hatches and access hatches. And then we start, of course, assembling the interior with the gun. And the Dragon Stuks, and I think this is a very nice touch, have a almost complete gun assembly with gunner's seat, loader's seat, I think commander's seat as well as a lot of detail. So all of this is gun assembly. I really like this. I really appreciate that Dragon does this for you. And then in the final steps, again, this is something that we get only in this Stuk. It comes with wooden framing for a storage rack that goes in the back of the tank. I don't much like the Imperial series, Liam. I think they are okay, but I think they lack detail compared to the early 1939 to 45 series kits. I think they are much better because they have replaced those cut-off single-link tracks with magic tracks in those. And if you really want to knock it out of the park, I only can recommend you guys go after one of the early Panzer IVs, the Panzer IV Super Kits that came out, I think, in the early 2000s. If you want to see exactly which kits these are, I can only tell you guys, go over to Adam Mann's channel. I think it's 3D Scale. Correct me if I'm wrong, Adam. He did a review of one, and he exactly tells you which kit numbers are those super kits. And those are out of this world insanely good. They come with tons of parts. They are hyper detailed. They're just great. If you really want to have a challenge, but a really cool kit in the end, go for one of those super kits. Magic tracks, of course, assembled in the final step, and then we put the top half and the lower half together, and we have a finished Stuk with one painting option, of course, because this is a specialized vehicle of Bodo Sprans, so it has the number 10 as well as the unit markings, which we have options in different colors because they're not sure which color it had, because there were 3 of identical layout but different colors. So it's up to you which one you choose because there is no clear evidence. All right, let's move on to the dragon card, which is another cool thing about old dragon kits. If you don't know about old dragon kits and only know the new ones, you won't know about this because this is something that Dragon has ditched recently and replaced with photo etch in a bag, in the box, done. The S-tracks in a bag, in a box, done. The decals in a bag, in a box, done. This was standard back then. They had this, what they called dragon card, which contained both the photo etch, the decals, some high fidelity items that could easily break if they threw them in the box, clear parts, the towing cables, as well as the tracks. Magic Tracks, of course, is one of the most awesome thing that Dragon did, because I have to say did, because they have now replaced them with the S-Tracks, sadly, in most of their releases, unless they do not produce the S-Tracks of the used type. So if you get a kit with Magic Tracks, cool thing, you don't have to buy Fools to replace them with if you don't want to, because those have almost the same level of detail. Of course, they need a bit of cleanup on the inside because they have ejector pin marks, but other than that, they are great. Excuse me, I need to drink a sip of water. We have, for a Dragon kit, a rather decent sized piece of PE, of course, with the air intake, covers, the parts for the idler wheel, those are the 2 hinges for the spare tracks. Let me move this up here so you guys can actually see something. And then we have the decal sheet. And like I said, we have the unit markings in blue, in yellow, and in red. All right, let's move on to the fun part, the plastic. And I'm not gonna take this out of the bags. I'm sorry guys, but you can probably see even through the bags. This sprue bag here contains our engine deck, as well as some of the spaced add-on armor, and the loader's hatch here, and then of course air intakes, and the covers for the engine, as well as gearbox access. Next up, we have a fighting compartment, and I have to tell you guys, the molds are stunning. I don't know if you guys can actually see this on camera, but the way in which they did the weld seams is just out of this world great. The fenders, of course, have the nice anti-slip texture already molded on, so this is a nice plus. You don't have to deal with that. You don't have to do that yourself with either grainy, Mr. Surfacer, or the other methods that are around. But I always appreciate it if it's already done. And again, on the fighting compartment cover, like the roof of the fighting compartment, the weld seams again are stunningly nice and crisp molded. We have some parts of the gun assembly as well in this sprue bag. So if we count the number of sprues so far, we have 3. And for those of you who have only built Revell kits, for example, and you aren't accustomed to the fact that all sprues are separate in different bags, this is another perk that you get with the Dragon kit, which is a lot better than what you get with, for example, a Revell, where all the sprues are in one bag. This is a sprue that is specifically in this kit because this has the wooden crate, or wooden storage box that goes on the back of the Stook, as well as, I think this is a specialized, no, this is just a normal Commander's Cupola hatch cover. Then we have our hull tub, and this is a hull tub that has been around, I think, since 2006. This is the newly tooled and newly molded Panzer III hull, which is a bit shortened compared to their older Panzer III hull, which is way too long. And this is stunning in detail. When you look at the way in which they have molded on the detail where the torsion bars and the suspension arms go in, it's just stunning. Or the detail here on top where the fender is mounted, this is just great. Or if you want to have, for example, the sprocket cover blown to pieces, you have some nice interior detail there as well. Alright, let's move on here, because I haven't told you this. I have more kits that we can look at. We have more of the interior detail. The radios are stunningly molded. And for those of you who have built a Dragon Stook, they are, I think, in all the new releases, starting in the mid-2000s, they included those radios. They're a nice touch if you want to leave the hatches open. It doesn't just look empty inside, but you have those radios, as well as the gun assembly, which is also on this sprue. Then we have those should be the, what are they called now? I don't know. The swing arm stabilizers, I think. Something like this, I don't know. I'm not a tank expert, I'm just a modeler. I try to sound like an expert, but I'm not. And some of the suspension arms here. Like I said, when it comes to being an expert on tanks, just ask Adam, he is. He actually owns the parts in real life, so ask him. We have the eyelets for the towing cables, as well as the fire extinguisher, the S-hooks, and the choke, the wooden block for jacking the vehicle up. We have the jack and we have tools, and they have the molded on tool clamps in stunning detail. They are not clumsy or clunky like the old ones. They're nice and finely molded, so you do not actually have to get photo etch clamps for these tools, I think. And then the old and trusted A-sprue. It says Stook 3G, but this is the A-sprue that basically comes with all the Panzer IIIs that you get from Dragon. Like I said, again, since the mid-2000s. This is standardized Dragon. And I think sometimes you can actually see its age because there's some burr and some flash on it. But it's not bad, to be honest. It's not bad. But I think at some point Dragon might want to reconsider retooling this. But for now, it's still good enough compared to other companies. It actually has the nice little wing nuts that you can put on some areas of your kit to improve the level of detail there. This time I got lucky here with the spruce, I think, since this is a 2008 release, this Stook. This is an earlier mold of this, so it's not as bad as the new ones. Because I've seen some of the newer Dragon Panzer III chassis releases where you had some burring along the lines of the suspension arms as well as the road wheels, so be careful with that. Yes, that's all there was in the box. Look, box empty. So we now have have a chance to look at the back of the box. Like I said, we have magic tracks. We have those spare track holders here. Super detailed. That's the interior look here. It looks pretty good. Hello, Hinterland Customs. Good evening. Thanks for joining us, and thanks for watching. And overall, I'm really, really impressed by this kit. Oh, that's a good question. I don't know if I have seen one yet, but there might be one. I think they did both an E and a B? I'm not sure, though. Once again, ask Adam. Adam, help me out here, mate. You know better than I do. Oh, hello to Denmark. Thank you for joining me tonight. Alright, any questions regarding this kit right here before I put this away and we move on to next Dragon kit? Oh, there you go. Adam did a review of the new E. It was a pig. I told you. Go for the older Dragon releases, although they get rarer and rarer by the day and more expensive by the day, to be honest. I have seen older Dragon kits that usually went for 40 to 50 euros go for ridiculously 80 or 90 euros on eBay. So, yeah, try to source them cheaper whenever you can. Before we move on, like I said, are there any questions regarding this kit? Any things you would like to see again? I can get them out of the box, no problem whatsoever. If there's not, we can move on to the next kit if you want. And tonight we will focus on German armor, I'm sorry. The next episode might feature some foreign armor though. Maybe some French armor. Actually not, well, it served under French flag, but was produced somewhere in the United States. But yes, we will be looking at that the next time around, I think. I do not see any questions so far. I can come back to this kit later if you have any. No, it's only that Stuk that wasn't used at Kursk. Stuk 3Gs were at Kursk in masses. That's why I was sad that I couldn't use this. But a lot of Stuk 3Gs were at Kursk. It was actually introduced before the Battle of Kursk. And they got the nice side armor plates before the Battle of Kursk, and then they went to Kursk and fought there. I think actually second to the Panzer III, the Stuk 3 was the most used tank in the Battle of Kursk on the side of the Germans. Correct me if I'm wrong, anyone who knows? But I think it's true. Alright, I've got two kits here. Top one or bottom one? You guys decide. The top one has been reviewed already. The bottom one has been reviewed as well, but I still want to go through them. Which kit product I like the most? I think I like Dragon. I like Dragon. Oh yeah, okay, yeah. I prefer Dragon. I'm a Dragon guy. I have no problem in paying a bit more compared to, let's say, Trumpeter or Hobby Boss or something like that, or the older Tamiya ones. And since that's the case, yeah, I'm a Dragon guy. I love Dragon. Although Dragon instructions can drive you a bit around the corner, and Tamiya kits usually used to fit a bit better than Dragon ones, I still like Dragon kits more. The problem, Adam, the kits that I have here right now have all already been reviewed by someone. Not me, but someone on the internet. But I can do my own kind of review and just go over the kit and tell you what I think about it. I have a Panzer IV here, or it's two Panzer IV chassis vehicles, so one is a regular Panzer IV, the other one is not. So you guys tell me what I should review. We have this as an option, and we have this as an option. So Brumbar or Panzer IV, you guys tell me. The 4. Alright. Alright. This one then. Alright. Well, let's talk about this kit now. Alright. We have a Brumbar. I give you guys 1 more minute. Right now it's 1-1. The thing is, I'll do both anyways. It's just order of business. I'll talk about both kits tonight. It's just which one to do first and which ones to do second. Just do it. Alright, here we go. This is another Dragon release from the mid-2000s, actually from 2007. So this is 1 year older than the Stuk we just looked at. This is a Panzer IV Aus G used by the Leibstandarte Adolf Hitler Division in Kharkov 1943. This kit is supposed to be really, really good. I've seen a review of this on Dutch Modeling, Sebastian's channel. If you want to take that into account as well, go over there whenever you like and take a look at his review as well. Maybe like to have 2 different opinions or similar opinions on a kit will be helpful. This kit, like I said, it's a smart kit. It's not a specific kit as the Bodo Sprans one, an Expo kit, but a regular Dragon kit. This kit right now sells on eBay somewhere between 60 and 80 euros, which I think is too much. But this is getting rare, although it, I think, has been reissued by Dragon. So, gotta be careful there. If you can get it cheap, I highly recommend you getting this kit. Let's take a look at the box art. We have 5 different marking options, and we'll go over those marking options later. We have three whitewashed ones, a dark yellow one, and this one is a gray one. We have a photo etch thread as well as a decal thread. The Smart Kit moniker is for Dragon kits that are simplified compared to the Dragon what are they called? Adam, help me out here. What are the ones with all the photo etch and stuff called? Premium kits, exactly, for the Dragon Premium kits. There are different monikers, Dragon Premium, Dragon Smart Kit, and the Smart Kits are a simplified version. And compared to the Super Kits, for example, the early Panzer IV kits that I talked about earlier, this is simplified down. The bogey assembly is simplified. It's not consisting of too many parts. Yeah, basically it's simpler kits. I wouldn't call them simple, I would call them simpler. They still have some pitfalls that you can follow. We have some cat drawings of our Panzer IV parts here. The turret we have over here. We have some parts of the rope wheel, like the spare rope wheel rack that goes next to the tank. We have some covering there. Box art. I bought this off eBay recently, so I have to take something out that is in the box that normally does not come with the kit, but I'll show you guys in a second. Let us quickly, as a start, go over the kit instructions. Again, typical Dragon instruction sheet. If you are one of those that is unlucky and buys a Dragon kit that comes with colored instructions, I feel for you. There are Dragon kits, and I think I have a Dragon instruction, a colored Dragon instruction handy. So let me just quickly grab this so you guys can actually see what I'm talking about. This is a colored Dragon instruction sheet. They used these, I think, at some point in the late 2000s in an attempt to upgrade their instruction sheets because they received a lot of flack for their, well, lacking instructions. These are worse than any instructions I've ever seen, and I'll show you why. Because this is what you get. You don't get drawings, you get pictures. And those pictures are so nondescript and you can see nothing whatsoever where the parts should go. So if you are one of the unlucky ones that buys a Dragon kit that comes with these instructions, say your prayers, little one. But they are manageable, but you need some experience with Dragon. Anyways, Panzer IV. We have the typical Dragon sprue map outline here. The beautiful box art. I love the box art. I'm actually drawn to building exactly this box art. Because, and I can tell you right now, this kit I bought came with these. These are Dragon, not Dragon, Frul tracks. Frul is a Hungarian brand that makes metal tracks, and those are Winterketten, or Ostketten. Actually, I have to tell the Frul guys, these are not Ostketten, these are Winterketten that come in this box, although it says Ostketten on the box. They are great. And they came in the deal that I struck on eBay, so I have them for the kit, although it has magic tracks. And I think I'm going to use these, because I think it will look good with winter tracks. So, but they are not part of the review, so, and not part of the kit normally. This comes with magic tracks. And not Winterketten, but normal magic tracks. Alright, let's go. Huh. Like I talked about earlier, typical Dragon instructions start with the running gear. And then we, of course, assemble the hull, the lower hull, with front and back plate. Assemble the hook mounts. Drill some holes, of course, because the parts are reused for different versions of the tanks. There are some where you have to drill or fill holes. Assemble the bogies and the suspension system. This does not have a torsion bar suspension. This is the Panzer IV. This has a bogie suspension. So you will not have a working torsion bar suspension here, but you can also make the Dragon bogies work. It's a bit more work than on the torsion bars, but it can be done. I haven't done it yet, but I've seen people do it, so it is an option. Exhaust is built, as well as the spare track rack. Front glasses plate is built. And the next step, I'm trying to get through the instructions rather quickly because I want to show you guys the plastic, which is much more interesting than the instructions to me. Road wheels go on. I don't put them on at this stage. I keep them separate so I can paint them off the vehicle as well as the magic tracks. I'm never assembling the magic tracks at this point. The magic tracks are normally what I assemble the last. Fenders go on. And construction of the top hull and fighting compartment begins. Again, drilling holes, installing machine gun as well as towing cables. Again, something that I don't do until I paint the towing cable of the vehicle. And now the fun starts. As you can already see, these two steps, those are two steps, 12 and 13, are very, very busy. So for new modelers, this might be daunting. You look at this and I'm like, oh my god, how am I supposed to see through all the steps that are in this? There's one easy and simple solution that I have. Use a pencil, and every time you do something, cross it out or check mark it. And this way, you can go through each step individually and check off what you have done to your model. That way, you won't forget anything, and you won't be totally flabbergasted by the instructions. I normally only do this if it's like really busy like this, and I don't forget, so I don't forget anything. Does this actually come with PE tool clamps? It does not, no. Or? No, it doesn't come with PE tool clamps, but once again, these are the newer Dragon releases that have nicely molded tool clamps. This part, again, offers us... How many parts has this kit? This has over 740 kit parts. Over 740. The Stuck had 500. Over 500. So this is a lot more busy. The Dragon kits normally are really busy kits with a high part count, but, and I have to tell you this right now, you will only use about 60 to 70% of the parts that actually come in a kit. A lot of the kit parts will go into your spare bin. Although on this kit, I have to tell you, it's not that many, because you can already see this on the sprue map layout. Everything that's marked in blue, you will not be using. So it's not that much that you won't be using on this, unless you are using your photo etch parts, which will make some of the plastic parts obsolete. For example, this is a step where you have the option to either go with plastic parts or photo etch parts. You always have to make a decision whether or not you want to challenge yourself and use photo etch parts or go with plastic parts. Alright, next up we have our turret and gun assembly here. And then we put the turret onto the vehicle and are done with the assembly. So next up we have our painting and marking options. And like I said, this kit has 5 of them. First we start out with a 1st Panzergrenadierdivision Leibstandarte Adolf Hitler 1943 whitewashed version in Kharkov. Then we have, actually wait, this only has 3 here. What am I telling you guys? Oh no, there are 2 more. Right, let's see. Another 1st Panzergrenadierdivision Leibstandarte Adolf Hitler 1943 with a different turret number. As you can see, we have 215, and the other one was, I think, 205. 205 and 215, they are the same division. Then we have a dark gray version here, which is Drittes Panzerregiment Totenkopf, Panzergrenadierdivision Totenkopf, Kharkov 1943. As well as 2 final versions. This is a dark yellow version. Panzerregiment Großdeutschland, Panzergrenadierdivision Großdeutschland, Russia 1943-1944, sadly after the Battle of Kursk. And we have a Panzer of 1st Panzer Division, Greece 1943. Actually, this is another whitewashed one, and this is the dark yellow one. I'm sorry, guys. And the one from Greece actually is very interesting to me, but like I said, I want to do a whitewashed one with the winter tracks on it. So this is the instruction sheet. Let's move on to the plastic. Like I said, again, we have a Dragon card. Something that we sadly don't get anymore. And this Dragon card, like the other one, has the decals, the photo etch, and the delicate parts that might get damaged in the kit, as well as a set of magic tracks, which will go into the spares for future plans. Because nowadays, your dragon kits come with the S-Tracks, so it's always cool to have a set of magic tracks lying around to upgrade the DS-Tracks, because I don't think the DS-Tracks are any good. Especially in German armor, because it's hard to do the drag sag. Although, again, let me do a shameless plug here. If you want to know how to do the track sag on German armor with DS-Tracks, my good friend Concy has a video on his channel where he demonstrates the pin method of how to insert pins into your lower hull of your tank in order to simulate proper track sag. So if you want to see this, go over there. I can only recommend you guys watching Mike's videos. Shameless plug. Alright, let's start out with this sprue, which contains the tools. And like I said, the tool clamps on the newer Dragon kits, starting in 2005 I'd say, are highly delicately molded, very nicely detailed. You cannot go wrong with those. You do not have to upgrade them to PE tool clamps. And this sprue has the rack that is used for the spare road wheels that go on the hull, which is something that the Panzer III does not have. Next up, compared to what we saw on the the Stuck 3 earlier, we have one hull top, one upper hull roof, fighting compartment roof. Again, I only can commend Dragon for the highly delicate molds of their weld seams. Beautifully done. The detail is just beautiful. The fuel cap is stunning. I hope you can just see some of the detail here. It is just great. Awesome. Again, this is another sprue, a sprue, that has been around, similar to the one that we saw in the Stuck 3. The A sprue on the Panzer IV is an old tooling. And what is set to the one on the Stuck applies here as well. This might need a retool in the near future, otherwise your new releases might have issues with bearing, flash, mold release, what have you, because they are getting old. Yes, hey Chalky, I did see you. I did not see. Turret assembly, or at least turret bottom or floor. This is a piece that goes into our lower hull to give a bit of sturdiness to it and a bit of support, which it doesn't normally need. Some parts for the gun, which I will probably replace with a metal gun barrel, which you don't have to. It's a single piece, slab molded gun barrel. You don't have to replace this. The one that comes with the kit is perfectly fine. We have gun breech. I think this is the loader seat or the gunner seat, and interior detail. Next up are some more parts that we use for our fighting compartment assembly. We have the gearbox cover here. We have the back of the tank, the cover for the back of the tank here. Those are the sides of the fighting compartment. The storage bin, always important on Panzer IVs and Tigers, and Panzer IIIs. Those had a lot of storage bins. And you can do a lot with those storage bins. You can damage them up nicely, you can weather them to make them look really cool and beaten up. The fenders, and again, I'll try to get this in shot. Just look at the nicely molded anti-slip texture that those fenders come with. Those are beautiful. Really beautiful fenders. They have some very delicately molded on details. For example, where the headlights go, you can see where the headlight mount is, and it's just beautifully molded detail. I can only recommend you guys, if you haven't done it so far, buy a Dragon Panzer IV and build it, or Panzer III. Dragon kits are, in my opinion, when it comes to German armor of World War II, the top of the food chain. Dragon has to be aware, though, that other companies are catching up fast, because Dragon is not advancing with time. They are still stuck in the early 2000s. Actually taking a step back as they are taking out stuff from their kits. Similarly to what we saw with the Panzer III, the Stuck hull, the Panzer IV hull, beautifully molded. No, I haven't, Brad. I haven't. I have only ever built one Bronco kit and I wasn't too impressed, but that might be of age, because of the age of the kit. Beautifully molded, the detail again, beautiful if you want to have one of the bogies blown up. It's just, it offers you those opportunities to damage the vehicle without losing detail, which is great, which other companies don't. If you want to leave a bogie off of a Tamiya Panzer IV, it will just look weird, because there's nothing. There's just nothing there. This is turret hatch detail here. Those are the turret hatch doors, turret hatch door framing. The smoke mine launchers over here, but I think I have a set of PE ones that I can use to upgrade from an older kit that I did not use, because some of the Dragon kits, the older ones, actually come with double the amount that you actually need, so I might use those. Here we have the exhaust pipe on this sprue. We have the fenders, the mud guards, and some miscellaneous detail that goes on the... Oh, okay. If that's the case, that's cool. Like I said, other companies are catching up with Dragon, because Dragon is not developing. They are still crapping out kits that are reboxes of old kits with added sprues. So it's nothing new that they come up with. It's just sad, because there's so much more that Dragon could do to improve their kits. For example, include magic tracks and a Dragon card. This is so convenient for us modelers. It's such a great touch, and you lose a lot of your appeal when you just ditch them for thrown in half the amount of thrown in goodies. All right. Panzer IV sprue number 8. Again, I've said it before, I'll say it again. This is an old sprue. It could use a retooling, and as you can actually see, and this is a 2008 release, do you see the bend? Yes, this is what happens to the A sprue on occasion. It comes bent. If you are unlucky enough, it will be bent to hell, and you will have trouble with parts not fitting your model kit. If that's the case, take a picture of the sprue in the back. Send it to Dragon Care. They normally give you a replacement. If they don't, send them a very, very nice letter. Like I said, old sprue. Adam probably has seen this sprue like a billion times by now. And again, this could use a remold at some point, because those molds are just getting old. A retool. Those molds are just getting old. And the final sprue in our kit is the cupola, the Commander's cupola. Vision blocks open, vision blocks closed. Again, you get a lot of options with those Dragon kits. That's probably, if you ask me, one of the biggest assets that Dragon kits hold compared to other kit manufacturers. Are can't forget about this. The turret, of course, and again, beautiful molded on detail. The riveting is beautiful, just beautiful. If you haven't seen them up close, buy a kit, look at them up close. Great stuff, great stuff. What I wanted to say before I saw the turret line in there, the amount of options that you get with Dragon kits and that they provide you to build your kits are what distinguishes them, at least for me, from their competitors. Until now, I've seen other manufacturers come up with kits that have almost the same amount of options and alternatives that their kits offer you. So, like I said before, if Dragon is not careful, they might just be overtaken and left in the dust in the future. And I don't think they want to. So if anyone from Dragon actually sees this, somehow, some way, please provide us with Dragon cards like in this kit. Please provide us with magic tracks. The S-tracks are not good. Have you seen what happens to the S-tracks after you have had them sit on your shelf for 10 years or 5? They fall to pieces. please give us magic tracks. Magic tracks are great. I love them. And so do other modelers. Of course, they're labor intensive to assemble and to clean if you really want to clean the injection marks. But they give you so much more options than a rubber band track. And oh, by the way, let me just show you guys something. I recently built that Panzer 4D, if you remember, and it came with DS tracks. And I've come across this issue recently with a couple of Dragon DS tracked kits. The Stuck 3G that I built last year had the same issue. And I'm really, really not happy about this. These tracks do not fit the model they come with. And as you can see, they are warped, twisted, turns, and they just aren't great. So DS tracks, you can use them as armbands, headbands, whatever you want, but not as tracks on your kit. Oh, they just ripped apart. Great. And they didn't rip apart at where they are glued together, but just at a random position. That's what happens to them. They get torn to shreds. Anyways, yeah, not good. Magic tracks are what I like and prefer. Alright, here is the issue now. We have about 15 minutes left over now. Is a dragon kit worth the price? I think the Panzer IV is worth 60 euros, yes. 80 euros, no. It always depends on what you want. If you want a kit that you can build out of the box to be almost as accurate as you can get it with aftermarket, without having to buy aftermarket, yes, it's well worth it. If you're looking to have a fun experience, quick build, quick paint job, put it on the shelf, go with Tamiya. They're almost as expensive as eBay. But I think, like Adam said, in the 40 to 60 range, I think it's perfectly fine if you want a highly detailed kit. Everything you have to pay over that, not worth it. That's the problem with the new Dragon releases, which is why I haven't bought them. They start at 70 to 80 euros. I wanted to buy the new Dragon release, Stuck 3G with the concrete armor. I had actually already ordered that off eBay for a very good price until the seller then just canceled my order for dubious reasons. I'm just not willing to pay 80 or 90 euros for a Dragon release that is basically a Reeboks without magic tracks and with nothing special to it. So you must always think of what you actually want in a kit. If you want the kit to be, like I said, out of the box, almost as close to accurate and highly detailed as you can get, yes, it's worth it. And Dragon is where to go. If you want fun, quick, easy, not overcomplicated, not messy instructions built, I think Tamiya is where to go. And I think that's where Tamiya comes into play. But Tamiya is not that much cheaper, to be honest. New Tamiya releases start at 50 to 60 euros as well. So it's not that much of a difference. The issue that I have is I have to leave you guys in roughly 10 minutes. Because I have some private things I have to sort. I have to pick up the girlfriend from the train station. I don't want to rush through this. Let's just have the last 10 minutes and talk about our experiences with Dragon or Tamiya or Trumpeter or other kit manufacturers in the past, and I will give you my insight into what I know about them. And we'll do this on next week's installment. If I'm around next Monday. I don't know yet, because next Monday I'll go and pick up my diploma. So we'll see about this. If I'm incapacitated next Monday evening. But I want to do this frequently. But yes, let's just talk about my experience with Dragon and other manufacturers from my experience, the older Tamiya kits are, like I said, the fit is perfect. They almost fall together. The only issue I have with them is a very, very severe lack of detail. For example, their Panzer IVs, they're really like everything before 2005, are lacking sponsons. So because they were designed to be RC capable vehicles, their tracks had to have room up and down. So there are no sponsons. I announce my videos on Facebook. I have a Facebook group, a Facebook page, HWOOP Modeling. I announce my videos there, not just the kit reviews on Mondays, but also if I have a live stream doing a diorama or building a tank or talking about random BS, I'll announce them there. And normally, if I know when I do one, I'll schedule it on my channel. I don't know whether or not they are actually shown as being scheduled on my channel for other viewers. I don't know that. If you guys can actually see, okay, he has a hangout planned. It's HWOOP Modeling. Right, it's HWOOP Modeling. What I was saying, yes, the Tamiya kits, like I said, lacking sponsons is something that, come on, improve on that. And I think they have. The detail is, though, lacking. And for a modeler, you want to model. You want to glue stuff together. And with the Tamiya kits, it's always that they have molded on detail that you would like to glue on. Where you would like to either maybe leave it off, have it damaged, and Tamiya makes this hard. So that's the knock on Tamiya, as well as the price for what you get. You normally don't have more than, I'd say, 10 hours of building with the Tamiya kit, if that. Sometimes you knock it together in 5 hours. And if I pay 60 euros, I want to sit down evening after evening after evening, week after week, to just assemble this. And have fun assembling, because for a lot of people, and like me, oh, cool. Oh, you have a bell that rings. Nice, awesome. And for me, gluing the stuff together and building the kit actually is what's most fun about it. Painting, I do it, but I don't love it. So yes, I prefer Dragon because, like I said, they have a lot of parts. This one has 650 parts, for example. You get a lot for your money. You get a lot of building for your money. And you get a lot of detail for your money. You pay a bit more money though. And lately, the newer Dragon releases have been disappointing when it comes to what you get for your money. And I agree with what Hamilcar Barkas said on his channel when he did the review, I think, of the Geschützwagen 38T. Was it that one, Mike? I saw you in the chat earlier. Maybe you can say that's the right one. Like, you only bought that because it came with magic tracks. Because the S tracks are bad. Really, really bad. And I showed you guys. They just ripped apart because I put them over my wrist. And my wrist is big, but it's not that big. It's not as big as a Panzer IV suspension. And yes, the S tracks are bad. And if Dragon continues to put the S tracks in every release date put out there, modelers will not be buying them because the DS tracks start to disintegrate in the box. And I've talked to a lot of people that have had that issue. So maybe they want to rethink their decision to ditch magic tracks for DS tracks, because that was something that really distinguished them from Tamiya. Tamiya has those vinyl tracks. And even Tamiya has ditched them for better tracks nowadays. And Dragon is going back to where Tamiya was in the 90s. And I don't think they want this. So yes, Dragon and Tamiya are, for me, when you go German armor, you cannot go wrong with either, depending on what you want. I have built a Trumpeter 38T. Great little kit. I can only recommend you guys buying this. Trumpeter overall has been very, very cool lately. This one, yeah, that's a cool name. Oh no, the one you reviewed, yeah. And Trumpeter, especially when you like Russian armor and Modern Armor Trumpeter is probably the company to go to, as well as Meng. And I am not an expert on those companies. I haven't built enough of those brands to tell you what I think about them in total. But if you want to get a nice look at what they do, I'd say go to Dutch Modeling. Seb has done a lot of reviews of trumpeter kits. He's done a lot of reviews lately of Meng and Tacom and all those new and really, really upshot companies from China and Asia. And from what I can tell and from what I saw, they are highly detailed and very, very good. But they focus on Russian and modern armor, mainly. And then, of course, there's Ryfield with Tigers. But I've seen Adam's review of Ryfield's Tiger, and I don't think he was happy. So, I don't know if I'd touch it. But maybe they have made improvements to their Tigers as well. But I haven't built a Ryfield either. So, I'll leave you with this. I still prefer my Dragon kits, older releases. But next week, or when my next live stream on kit reviews will come around, I will have this rumbar waiting for you, as well as a Asuka Sherman. Yes, I will actually be doing a review of an Asuka Sherman, former Tasca, a great company that is supposed to have produced the best Shermans on the market. So I am looking forward to seeing what this is all about. It's sitting right there behind the camera. I bought this while I was in Munich for a really good price. And it's actually a Sherman in French, serving in the French army. So we will be looking at this next week, as well as this or on the next show, as well as this Brumbar. Thank you guys, all of you, for watching today, for supporting me, for being around while we were live, for talking to me, for giving your input. I really appreciated that tonight. I appreciate each and every one of you who have subbed my channel, who are subscribers and followers on my Facebook page. You guys are driving me forward and making me go on. And I want to improve for you. I want to keep coming up with new ideas for the channel. And thank you guys once again. Have a great evening. Have a good night. Have a nice day if you're in Australia or Asia. And I'll see you guys around. This has been Hollywood Modeling. I'll see you soon.